Okay, Transel Dynamite 150, little brother of the Nitro 300A, and Transel makes a 600 too. But never had a 600, but and they make a 50. I had a 50 and sold it. This Dynamite 150 is one drive and two 6LQ6 tubes. I put in a good set of tube. Recapped it. It had them old silver can caps, and those are pretty much obsolete. I go with the smaller, more modern caps. They just have less leakage if you get a decent cap, and they work better. This is kind of a turbocharged amp, maybe a single turbo instead of a twin turbo. It is cathode driven, but it's not grounded grid. Grid number 1 has negative bias on it, and grid number 2 has light screen voltage on it. Not a whole heck of a lot. Interesting amp. Just has a big tune in the front, and that's the final tune, as in tune and load. And then the load is actually a small variable cap down there. That's the load for the output. And then for the driver, the tune and load are those variable caps there next to that driver tank coil there. Uses a 2-pole relay, and one relay grounds the cathode when you key up, one leg of the relay, and the other leg of the relay switches the input and the output. They use one leg to do that in a weird kind of a crossover teed out design. But anyway, I wasn't trying to go through it like that. I was just going to show it on the bench all ready to go. Came to me, it was a little rough. The guy didn't do hardly any packing when he shipped it. One of the tubes was broken, and I ended up replacing all 3 tubes. Gave it a bath, cleaned it up, and recapped all the electrolytics. And also it had a very weird, like a flapper for a tune cap, and we ended up replacing that with just a small variable right there, because the reason they could get away with the flapper in the first place is because it doesn't need a lot of capacitance, maybe about 8 picofarads or something like that. So I ended up getting something small enough, this is like 5 to 15 picofarads, something small enough where I could put it in there and it work instead of that stupid flapper they had in there. And that's what it looks like. Pretty neat little amp. Basic power switch, transmitter standby, and then AM SSB delay. 6 amp fuse on the front. Got the pretty lights that go on and off. Just a pretty basic amp. No preamp, no driver, variable driver. Does not have a tuned input. I don't like that part of it, but hey, can't have everything, I guess. So anyway, said I wasn't gonna get long-winded with it, using my little standard 4-5 watt mud duck radio into it. Not putting a lot into it, but you don't want to overdrive these little drivers. 1 drive and 2, you put a lot of watts into that driver tube, you're gonna kill it, and then it's gonna do more watts till it die, and it's gonna kill the final tube. So and here's one that I can't stress enough over and over and over and over again. CB amps are made for 4, or the older ones like this, 3.5 watts drive, dead key maximum or less. They are not made for 4 watts, 5 watts, 6 watts, 7 watts, 10 watts dead key. You do that, they may work for a while, but you're gonna kill them. You're overdriving them. 7 watts dead key is twice as much as the recommended power input in these amps. So anyway, I'm doing about 3.5 watts dead key into this. The giant watt meter, I think on the right, calibrated to a bird, going into a 50.2 ohm dummy load, so pretty much a perfect match, so no false watts. 200 watt scale. We're gonna key her up, and according to this, you know, kind of meter, we're dead keying about 60 and got a little bit of forward swing. Audio, we can talk it up to about 100. And here we are on the stingy Transel meter, and it's showing we're dead keying 30, and audio maybe talking 65. Audio, and only whistling to about 80, and that's RMS. And then last we're gonna put her on peak right quick. 3 audio, 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 audio. Like I say, it's a single turbo, not twin turbo, but a little bit of swing on peak, you know, pretty good. Audio, not too bad, doing what it's supposed to do. About 150 watts peak. It's actually creeping up a little bit as I hold it down, and it's getting hotter. No fan in it, you know, tube's not cheering yet, because again, the single turbo with the bias and all that. Audio, as long as you drive them right and treat them right and don't overdo it, you know. I'd probably put a fan in it if I was going to get long-winded on it, and that's about it. We'll do that all day if you treat them right. I changed my mind on the most common killer of amplifiers. I used to say it was the coax and the SO239 and the connection there. I changed it. I think the most common killer of linear amplifiers, we used to say in the Army, is the nut behind the button. I'll let you figure out what that means if you don't know. Alright, that's gonna be it for this one. Look at that, almost creeping up to 200, but I've been holding it down. Alright, we're gonna let it go. Have a good one. Transel Dynamite 150 on a dummy load. Bye.